We're really excited about this product. One thing do want to say is I don't just run the place. I have a fantastic team here at the Jamestown Engine Plant.
This isn't just an...
Oh, by the way, this is Neil's Han Dynasty, obviously, if you don't know. Buy some silver, some platinum, some crystallized osmium. Be kind, helpful, and grateful. It's better than being a jerk. And, see, like, share, and subscribe. Be kind, helpful, grateful. Buy silver. That's all of them. This is the Forged Empire. It's the Cummins X15N, the engine that quietly disrupts everything. I did a video about this when they first came out with it about a year ago. But, you know, now it seems to be interesting because other people are doing videos. So I figured I'd reiterate and redo another video on it.
Another engine. This is something that could quietly flip the future of transport on its head. While the world argues over electric versus hydrogen, one company has been working in silence, crafting something unexpected, something disruptive. No flashy unveilings, no loud promises. Just a machine so clean, so powerful, and so fuel flexible that even seasoned engineers were left stunned. It doesn't run on petrol, diesel, or even battery, but it might just outlast them all. And the most surprising part? It's built by a name we've known for decades,
Cummings.
but never like this. Is it the future? Let's find out.
Cummings diesel.
With the Asus ROG Flow Z13,
Doing
you don't have to
diesel
pick between a
engines.
system built for gaming or one built for creating.
A legacy forged in diesel. To understand why this new engine is such a big deal, you have to look back, more than a century back. The story begins in 1919 in a small town called Columbus, Indiana. A man named Plessy Cummins, a mechanic with an obsession for performance, believed diesel engines could do more than just power factories. He partnered with William G. Irwin, and together they started what the world would come to know as Cummins. In the early days, diesel wasn't trusted. Petrol was king. But Plessy had a different vision. In the 1930s, he installed a diesel engine in a car and drove it all the way from New York to Los Angeles. It wasn't just a test. It was a statement. Diesel could be fast, reliable, and efficient. That journey didn't just win headlines, it changed everything. World War II brought a boom for Cummins. Their engines powered military vehicles and support machines. And after the war, the brand became the backbone of American transportation. By the 1950s, Cummins wasn't just an engine company. It was the gold standard in power and durability. Then came global expansion, from Latin America to Europe, and eventually to Asia. In India, their partnership with Tata in 1962 laid the foundation for generations of reliable truck engines. But Cummins didn't just rest on diesel. It kept evolving.
This is
Hybrids,
where we're getting
electric
to the future.
systems, fuel cells. Now, after years of quiet innovation, it has returned with something bold. Not just a new product, but a shift in philosophy. A new beginning. The industry shaking surprise. For months, there were whispers and rumors that Cummins was working on something big, but nothing concrete. No leaks, no teasers. Then suddenly, it appeared. Not with a grand launch or viral campaign, but with quiet confidence. A new engine. And not just any engine. Something the industry hadn't quite expected. It's called the X15N. The name might sound like a typical product code, but what it represents is far from ordinary. This engine doesn't rely on diesel or petrol. It runs on natural gas, and not just conventional CNG, but also renewable natural gas, RNG. It's clean, powerful, and shockingly efficient. When it was first revealed in 2023, many saw it as a prototype. Interesting, but far from practical. But now, production has begun.
This Italian trick with raw tomato is making prostate surgeries drop across Europe.
Prostate.
And in the
We got to get off of that.
And real fleets are preparing to use it. That's when the buzz turned into serious attention. Auto experts, sustainability advocates, and logistics giants all started asking the same question. Is this a game changer? Because there was an engine that didn't just promise lower emissions, it delivered them.
Yeah,
It didn't just talk about performance,
it
it
delivered.
proved it. In a world stuck between old fuel and future tech, Cummins had quietly built a third path. And
I
it
told
works
you guys about this about a year ago.
inside the
year and a half
beast.
ago.
What is X15N? So what exactly is the Cummins X15N? At first glance, it looks like any other heavy-duty engine. But under the surface, it's a complete rethink of how power can work in modern transport. The X15N runs entirely on natural gas, compressed natural gas, CNG, renewable natural gas, RNG, and even future-ready fuels like hydrogen. That alone makes it stand apart
That
from the
means
diesel
it's-
giants of the
That means
past.
that engine.
But it's not
uses
just
platinum,
about being clean. This
not as a
engine is
catalytic
strong.
converter.
It delivers around 400 to 500 horsepower, enough to haul massive loads across long distances without hesitation. And it's built specifically for the harsh demands of logistics. Long-haul trucks, trailers, mining vehicles, intercity buses, and machines that move economies, not just people. The real genius lies in its balance. Powerful like diesel, clean like electric, but more practical than both. It doesn't need a new truck body or futuristic design. It fits into the systems we already use.
How convenient.
For fleet
They're gonna
owners,
be so wealthy.
that changes everything.
Cummings is going to
No
be
need
so
for
wealthy.
radical overhauls. Just swap the engine and you're good to go. X15N isn't about flashy innovation. It's about smart, silent disruption, powering the future with the practicality of today.
Now first, like always, be sure to hit the like button down below. It helps us out tremendously with the reach of this video. Thank you.
It certainly does. I already did
Fuel of the future, or just a detour. The X15N doesn't just run on natural gas, it's designed to adapt. That's what makes it more than just an alternative engine. Cummins didn't stop at CNG or RNG. This engine is already being tested for compatibility with hydrogen, making it one of the few multi-fuel heavy-duty engines that's future-ready without a complete redesign. Why does that matter? Because energy landscapes are shifting fast. Diesel is under pressure. Petrol is losing favor. Electric has potential, but infrastructure gaps and battery limitations still hold it back, especially in the world of long-distance trucking.
Boy, howdy.
That's where fuel flexibility becomes a superpower. The X15N can work with the cleanest fuels available today and evolve with the ones coming tomorrow. That's why governments and transport companies are paying attention. It fits into today's supply chain while preparing for tomorrow.
And what it also does is it means you can change the whole power plant of your vehicle and change your whole fuel source by just changing the engine and nothing else. You don't have to buy a whole new car. Cummings is genius. I would definitely look into, this is not financial advice, I would seriously look into these guys' stock, man. They are like leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else.
Tomorrow's energy shifts. And when paired with renewable gas, it can even achieve near zero emissions without sacrificing performance. So is this engine just a stepping stone? Maybe. Or maybe it's something better. A bridge that actually works.
I think it's a
technology that doesn't ask industries to wait for change, but lets them move toward it now, with power, reliability, and cleaner fuel in the tank. Power versus electricity.
How Gen X are getting their teenage bodies back.
So this is my mom and this is my grandma. I recently
The EV dilemma. In a world racing toward electric vehicles, you might wonder, where does the X15N fit in? Isn't everything shifting to batteries and chargers? That's the popular narrative. But reality, especially in the logistics world, is more complex. Electric trucks like the Tesla Semi promise clean transport, but they face serious hurdles. Long charging times, limited battery range, and the weight of massive power packs make them less ideal for cross-country hauls. Infrastructure is another issue, There just aren't enough fast charging stations along major freight routes. This is where the X15N carves its space. It offers diesel-like power, cleaner fuel, and rapid refueling, all with technology that already fits into existing systems. No
No
need to
extra
wait for
cost.
battery breakthroughs.
Yep.
No need for costly charging grids. For fleet owners, time and fuel costs matter more than trends. And here's the twist. Cummins isn't rejecting EVs. They're also developing electric drivetrains and hydrogen fuel cells.
Again,
But the
hydrogen fuel cells,
X15N gives them a
platinum.
practical edge right now. So rather than competing with EVs, it complements the gap they can't yet fill. It's not about choosing sides. It's about choosing what works today. And that's what makes the X15N so disruptive.
Boy, howdy.
Easy to adopt, hard to ignore. One of the smartest things about the X15N isn't just what's inside the engine.
It's the fact that that's all you need. You can have an 18-wheeler, you can have a truck, you can have any tractor, and you could be built in 1872. Well, probably not 1972. All you'd need to do to upgrade it to modern standards is buy that engine. You don't need a suspension, you don't need a new frame, you don't need a new body, you don't need to buy a whole new vehicle. All you need is the power plant. And I've been telling you guys for a couple, 4 or 5 months, they're coming out with new power plants, and next year's engine models, you'll have 4 or 5 different types of engine power plants to choose from. And all the cars are going to look the same. Same with Cummings. All you need to upgrade your whole fleet, your fleet could be 5 years old, have 10 fucking semi trucks that don't meet EPA standards, and you're looking at lots of money. Buy 10 of these engines, put these engines in those trucks. You're a modern fleet. This is brilliant. Cummings is going to do an awesome business.
It's how easily it fits into the real world. Cummins knew that no company wanted to replace an entire fleet overnight. So they built this engine to be retrofittable. That means if a logistics company already owns hundreds of diesel trucks,
just like
they don't have to scrap them. Just swap the engine, make a few adjustments, and the trucks are back on the road.
Freaking
cleaner
brilliant move
and more
by
efficient
Cummings.
than before. This approach saves massive costs. Buying a brand new EV truck is expensive. Building a charging network is even worse. But the X15N offers a middle ground.
Oh man,
modern performance
Cummings
without
is
modern
brilliant.
headaches.
Hey, Gerald.
Its modular design allows it to fit into a wide range of truck models, from long-haul trailers to construction vehicles.
See, the key there, modular design. They obviously knew about nanonuclear energy and small modular reactors, and how the whole industry of power plants and power generation is moving to modular construction. And Cummings has picked up on that on their engine designs, and they're rocking it hard.
And because it doesn't rely on complex battery systems, maintenance is simpler and less expensive. No daily charging schedules. No battery degradation issues. For companies balancing tight margins and tough regulations, this isn't just convenient, it's strategic.
It's a game
The
changer.
X15N lets them modernize without hitting pause. It's a clean engine that doesn't demand a clean slate. And in logistics, that kind of flexibility is gold. Backed by a global push. A powerful engine means little if the fuel it needs isn't available.
True that.
Cummins understood that. So alongside the X15N, they've quietly built something just as important: support infrastructure. Because what's the point of a natural gas engine if there's nowhere to refuel? In countries like the United States, the shift is already visible. States like California, Texas, and New York are rapidly expanding CNG networks. Public buses, school fleets, and municipal vehicles are already running on it. Logistics companies are even building private refueling stations.
Okay, guys, as this is playing, they're telling you about all these things that are going to natural gas. But what I'm thinking is, what natural gas companies are going to deliver this fuel, natural gas fuel? How big are they going to grow? And the investment opportunity, not only in the Cummings engine or Cummings company with their revolutionary engine design, but the whole infrastructure What major company is going to do replace the engines? They're going to get a bump in their price. I mean, look at the whole infrastructure that this changes in the field of business, and the opportunity for making money is extensive.
Along highways to keep their fleets moving. Europe is also catching up. Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands are investing heavily in both natural gas and hydrogen fuel
Investment
stations.
opportunity right there.
The European Union has made it clear that green transport is a priority. India, too, is pushing fast. With over 6,000 CNG stations and more being added every month, highway corridors are becoming fuel-ready. The government is backing the shift with policy and investment. And Cummins isn't just watching. They're
leading
partnering
the
with
way.
local networks, building service hubs, and training mobile teams. By 2026, they aim to have fuel and service access within 100 kilometers of every major route. The engine is ready, and now the roads are catching up. This engine isn't just about horsepower or fuel type. It's about timing, about meeting the world where it stands, caught between ambition and infrastructure, climate goals and real-world needs. The Cummins X15N doesn't ask us to wait for the future. It quietly brings the future closer, without demanding a complete reset. In a world filled with noise, it's the silent machines that sometimes make the biggest moves.
Sorry about that, guys. Had to end that and get over here and do this. So what y'all think, man? No one's talking about natural gas. I'm talking a hell of a lot about hydrogen. And actually, if you listen to that whole video, the next step from Cummings engine that they've already manufactured and already putting in trucks and already got the infrastructure going around America, by 2026, they'll have a natural gas installations within 100 kilometers of every highway pit stop for their trucks. These guys got it rocking. But the key to this whole thing, this whole program that just got told to you, is in doing so, this is just an intermediate move, because it's going to take a long time to adjust from gasoline to either electric or full-blown hydrogen, whichever direction the market takes us. So in the meanwhile, they saw this in the head and they came up with this engine. I did a video about a year and a half ago. It's got the thumbnail of the Cummings engine on it, and I'll tell you about this engine. But they saw the gap between the time period between the acceptance of a new technology that we're going to be getting and perfecting, and the gas technology engines that we have now. Electric obviously ain't going to cut it because of battery technology, so we have to wait a few years for that. They knew this 10 years ago when they were developing this, turned it out, built the trucks, stops for natural gas refueling, worked with the government for regulation. So this is a long-term thing. The planning they put in and the work they've already put in, by 2026, if they're going to have natural gas stations within 100 kilometers of all their truck stops, that infrastructure just blew away hydrogen infrastructure in America and Texas combined. So it's obviously going to be the intermediate step till the next technology comes around, which is just around the corner, but it'll take a while to get accepted. Hydrogen is on board, HO engine on board, hydrogen splitting. Let's hope the basement in the basement to the patent office. Oh, let's open the basement to the patent office. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to the patent office, Gerald. But yeah, so look for the investment opportunities in intermediate means of use case between the technologies. Obviously, we know we've been working for a while on switching over to Green New Deal, electric being pushed on us. Speaking of which, everyone here's a misnomenclature you have on the business over there. BYU, I think it is, the #1 Chinese electric car industry or car company. They are 100% subsidized by the Chinese government. That's the only reason they're big. China's fixing to have an EV problem with recycling because in the push for the big New Deal and all of this, right on, Mike, all of this lithium need and all this other need, which will end once we figure out that there's going to be a problem with recycling it. And then once that gets solved, we'll realize we don't need as much lithium and all the mines prices will drop back down. But that's in the future. The near future is there's hundreds of thousands of EVs in China sitting, resting. What's going to happen to those batteries when they degrade in place? What's the environmental impact that we will see? So, business opportunity. Look into what businesses recycle or reuse or reclaim or do something with lithium batteries. They're going to be heavily needed in China once the world figures out how bad of an environmental problem China has with their EVs that they have sitting around for years. They had like 100 EV car companies when it first came out. Now they're down to like 5 or 10. That's because they subsidized every one of those car companies. They said, hey, if you open up a car company that delivers meals to people and use EVs, we'll give you $1 billion. So someone says, oh, I'll do it. Give me the $1 billion. They spend $500 million on EVs. That company goes bankrupt. They walk away, leave the EVs where the fuck they are. They got their money. They walked away. The EVs are sitting where they were. That happened to about 90 EV car companies in China. And because of that, like I said, a very near case environmental catastrophe is going to be the lithium battery problem that they're going to have over there. And kind of sort of over here too. Seeing as though a car can sit in an empty field for a very long time and China just put into a pile, seems like a very long-term investment. Actually, I've already seen pictures and the weeds have already grown through the cars, broken the glass of the cars, and they do have cars stacked on top of each other. So it's already, as far as, if you watch, what's that Discovery show, Planet Without Humans or something like that, and see how long they say it'll take a city to go back to nature. It's like 10 years, and you got trees. Look at the rainforest. The rainforest was built, or excuse me, was grown on top of a city, one big fucking huge city that spanned most of South America. If you look at the newest LiDAR, you know, you can see the trees growing through those little Aztec temples. I mean, you see it. Watch The Amazing Race. What is that? Survivor. When they were down there, they were like staying in between these little fucking pyramid things with trees growing through them. It didn't take 1,000 years for that to happen. It took about 10. And so for shit to degrade. Now, what'll also be burning in about 10 years is that boat that just went down in the Pacific that had 15 EVs that caught on fire, and it only had 15 EVs and like 85 other cars. The whole boat, they abandoned ship. Sal Montagliano from What's Going On with Shipping about 2.5 weeks ago did a program on it. I also did a program on it, and that ship actually sunk. And at the bottom of the Pacific right now, there are 15 EV cars still on fire. They won't go out until the lithium or whatever it is, energy is totally gone. So all they need if they're sitting around is a lightning strike to hit one of them, start them on fire, and then all of a sudden, what do you have? You have a very, 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 very bad environmental problem, because now you've got 15,000 cars in a huge ass parking lot, all electric, all burning. That's going to affect air quality in America. Just saying. And it would have to happen, you know, it could happen in 24 hours. So it's not that long. If you have enough cars sitting for long enough, it only takes one jerk. This is why I say be kind, helpful, and grateful. It only takes one jerk pissed off at his country for killing his grandma with a fucking COVID virus vaccine. And who knows, you know, they got what they say they have 1.3 billion supposedly. I'm sure one of them is going to get mad eventually, you know. So the possibilities of that happening are a lot closer than you think. Possibilities, not that they will. This is human nature being what it is and all. And of course, lightning being what it is, the more pieces of metal you put out there to be struck, the more chance one's going to get struck. And they keep putting more out there, and none have been struck yet. But, it's a timing thing. You go for 15 years and keep raising the amount of steel you put out there. It's only a matter of time before something happens. Thank you very much for coming back. Make a very good point, and they could be a ticking time bombs. No, they are ticking time bombs. That's the problem. No, I do not. It's in China that I'm talking about, Deplorable Hulk. And I'm on YouTube live. I'm not on Restream or StreamYard, so I can't highlight your comment. That's why I'm like doing this number in case you're wondering. And do you know the contractor who has the contract to recycle these cars? I do not. That's what I was suggesting earlier, is that will be a business. So it's not a business now because I don't know of one. I'm sure there are a few out there, but they're not well run if they're not advertising, because there's a lot of business they could have. But that is an investment opportunity, is what I'm saying. We know this is going to be a problem. Let's look at it and see, okay, yeah, shit's going to hit the fan. Okay, let's go stick our head in the sand and cry like everyone else, or invest in the fix. Because whoever can fix that problems, that company's going to make a lot of money. Who's ever invested in a company that can fix that problem is going to make a lot of money. That problem has not been looked at seriously enough for a major investor to go in and start a company to do that. So keep your eyes opening, because here shortly someone will do that, because the amount of EV cars keep piling up. It's only a matter of time before they have to either start recycling them, someone burns them, or a lightning strike hits them, or some other freak of nature happens. Murphy, Uncle Murphy. We all know Uncle Murphy. He's all of our uncles. That's where we are similar. Uncle Murphy will come along eventually. So whatever business does the recycling of batteries, lithium batteries for cars, going to make a lot of money. I don't think they're around right now. If they are, find out, invest in them, because they're going to get big. Because there is an outstanding problem. It just hasn't been addressed yet, or noticed, or thought about. And what that typically means is the powers that be aren't prepared to make money off of it, or they're causing the problem to have public funds thrown at it so they can make money off of fixing the problem. And that's more to the point. Oh no, yeah, no, I'm not. I don't bring out. I'm trying to get people to think on how to look into future investments. Deplorable. I'm not saying invest in it now. I'm saying now is the time to look at it for a future investment, so that way you'll be the first in the door, instead of hearing it on the news saying, fuck, I wish I would have known about it. How many of us here sitting up saying, damn, I wish I knew about that? Every single one of us in this audience right now, all two of us, have said, damn, I wish I knew about that. This is how you find out about that, so that you can say, oh yeah, I knew and invested, and I just bought a new car and house because I knew and invested early. That's the point of this live stream, is to not only tell you that Cummings engine has a natural gas engine that's going to be accepted throughout America and used by next year. They're going to just start showing up in engines left, right, and center in these big trucks. People are going to be saying, what the fuck? Let me invest in that. It's already too late. Start now. You should have started a year ago when I did the show. But, then that's what this is about. It's about early investment in things before retail hops on and pumps the price up to $1,000 a stock, if you can get it now at 5 or 10. That's what I'm trying to say. So Cummings, definitely a good investment in my opinion, not financial advice, but with what they're turning out, it seems to fit the bill of what's needed. Very, very specifically fits it, actually. And the recycling of EV batteries in the future, look at it for being first in the door at buying that stock or that crypto or whatever company is investing in recycling, because they will be big, because that will be a big problem. That's down the road. But a future investment where you just throw $100, let it sit. It's like BTC, when the guy paid 20,000 BTC for a cheese pizza. 20,000 BTC for cheese pizza. Holy shit. Yeah, well, it's like that. You think now 20,000, oh my God, that's a 200 trillion gazillion dollars. Yeah, now. But then it was only $12.99. Now that company that's going to recycle lithium is only $12.99, not a 20,000 BTC. That's all I'm saying. It's the, if you missed the BTC thing at when you could get a pizza for 20,000 BTC and you should have bought it then, and you're kicking yourself in the ass. Well, this is how you get that BTC. You look in advance and you see these opportunities, future problems. We all know that the government manufactures problems so that they can force the solution they want on you, right? So why are they stacking EV cars, knowing there's going to be a lithium battery problem? Are they causing a problem to push a fix on you? If you think that's the case, investigate and invest. Because if they're going to push a fix on the problem they're causing, and they're going to use our money and they're not going to tell us about it until it's a problem that we have to throw money at, invest in the cure before they manufacture the problem to the point where people fucking really notice it and want to throw public money at fixing it. Because that's what I believe the they who control things are waiting for. They are actively right now causing an EV problem, a recycling problem, or burning down China because they all catch on fire and you can't put them out problem. Whichever direction you think that's going to go, look at it, investigate it. That's where I say, again, deplorable Hulk, yeah, there could be hundreds of companies, but they're not going to all start the same day. And if you're investigating daily, trying to keep up, spending 3 minutes of your time doing a little research on it daily, staying on top of it, you can figure out, because you got a high IQ. You're here. You got to be high IQ. Otherwise, you'd be watching One Life to live with the rest of the 90 IQ people. So you got a high enough IQ to where you'll be able to see the trends, I hope. And if you stay informed daily, 2 to 3 minutes, just informed, like what I do with nanonuclear and with clean air energy, I get their emails, I get their stuff, I stay on top of what they're doing. If you just do that, and I'm nanonuclear, I'm not actively invested in. I am in cleaner metals, so I can't say I'm not invested in them. I am in cleaner metals, but I'm not in nanonuclear, but I'm still looking at it daily. I'm getting their emails, but I'm not invested in it yet. I don't have money to invest in it, or else I would. But that's what I'm talking about. You keep up with it and you use your own personal investment strategy with your own knowledge that you gain every day for 2 to 3 minutes of researching what car company or what company out there of the, as you say, there'll be hundreds of them, see which one's going to do the best in your opinion and invest based off of your opinion to your risk assessment and your knowledge that you gained over time looking at this issue before they pushed it on everyone to cause those 100 car companies come up, because you will be more well informed than anyone else to make the decision on the investment. And people who succeed in investing are those that are the most well informed. And I didn't even graduate 10th grade. And I don't think you can graduate 10th grade. That's how stupid I am. I didn't graduate high school. I quit 10th grade. And I can put that together. So it's not a matter of, oh, you gave me the knowledge, I can't do anything with it right now. Fuck that shit. Let's do something else. Well, I mean, that's an investment strategy. It's not really a successful one, but it is one. A successful one is take that information and every day take a little look, and in your own computer, your own AI, artificial intelligence that you have up here, and once you realize it's not artificial, it's yours, you control it. Once you add that to the factor, make the adjustments for your personal scenario and invest appropriately. Because my investment strategy is not yours. My lifestyle is obviously not yours. I mean, fuck, I live in a goddamn basement. So, different strategies. I'm just trying to say, the more informed you become before it becomes a thing, when it becomes a thing and it's time to jump in, you'll be the most well-informed to jump in. So therefore, the odds of you prospering are exponentially higher. That's what I'm saying. And that's all dude, Gerald, are you on? How much do I have? I got $37 invested of my own money in the stock market. I got 1,000 shares of MJNA and 2,000 shares of cleaner metals. $37.50. So I hear you, deplorable Hulk. I hear you. I don't have a lot of money to play with either. And when I do, I'll throw more at them But right now I have zero, and that's how much I've got invested in the stock market on my own. $37.50. I have 300,000 shares of MJNA and 2,000 shares of Cleaner Metals. So it doesn't take much. And if you can't afford to lose 37 bucks, don't invest until you're at a more sound location economically. Pay your bills first. You know, take care, get on top of your finances before you invest, because investing while not being on top of your finances is a good way to become homeless. Because investing is a risk. Buying a house is a risk. Buying a car is a risk. Walking out your front door in the morning is a risk. Risk management. And risk tolerance. And both of those are individual things and personal. So I would 100% agree with you. Hold on. I so much agree with that statement. I'm going to say I 100% agree with you. There we go. I 100% agree with that. And I love the fact that they're going back to a vocational school, because I actually do remember the year and a half I spent in high school. It was in Escambia County, Florida, the last county before you hit Alabama on the Gulf Coast. It was Tate High School, Pace, Escambia, which Emmett Smith went to, Pensacola High School, Gulf Breeze High School. I think there was one more. There was like 6 high schools in that area. And then there was a vocational school, they called it, called George Stone. And if you had problems in any of those 6 high schools and you just didn't get it, or you didn't want to get it, they'd send you to the vocational school, George Stone, where they taught mechanics, car, truck mechanics works, welding, construction. And you spent the rest of your high school at that vocational school. Those problem kids that went to that vocational school made more money than all those kids that stayed in high school and went to college, because they already knew how to rebuild a car engine before everyone graduated high school. What do you think their job opportunities were when they got out of 12th grade compared to everyone else? Hey, what can you do? Well, I graduated high school. How about you? I didn't graduate high school. I went to George Stone Vocational School, but since we're talking about rebuilding engines, I'm a master. Got all my certificates here. I'm qualified to rebuild engines, Fords, Chevys, Dodges. Another kid's like, wow, all I got was a degree. Who's getting the job? The vocational school kids got all the jobs. And then for some reason, they shut that school down. Kind of weird. And then that whole area gave them I left before then, but I appreciate that, Deplorable. I do. Yeah, unfortunately, any organization that's been around for too long, for like 50 years, there's always corruption. There's always corruptions where nepotism and cronyism comes into play. It's just human nature. Whatever type of government you have just brings it to the surface quicker. That's all. My union, I did not go to the apprenticeship out here. So when I came out here in 96, I was called a boomer because I didn't do the apprenticeship out here. And because of that, I've always been an outsider. Even after 29 years, I'm a second-class citizen union member. So when work gets shy, even though I got damn near 30 years experience, friends and family of the union guys get hired first. And I don't work for 17 months. So yeah, it's been a little rough, but I'm still alive and things are looking better. And I've missed out on every goddamn opportunity I've been telling you guys about for financial gain because of my union. And deplorable, you know what we call that? You're a winner. Good. That's what I'm actually looking to do before I leave California, is come up with $100,000, pay a house off. Because that's the biggest bill. And anyone I've ever spoke with, even the rich people, they're like, fuck, man, I got a $17,000 a month house bill. Oh, I got a $700 a month house bill. Doesn't matter. It's always a bitch. So if you get your house paid off, you win. Hey, what's up, Mary? And if you get your house paid off and you get electrical from, alternative energies that you don't pay for, and water and septic, dude, you just won the lottery ticket, in my opinion. From that point in time, whatever you do, you're a success. Oh, I hate hearing that, Mary. Have yourself a good day. I appreciate you dropping by and hitting the like button. Thank you very much for that. Look into Cummings Engines, the company. Do some research on it, or watch the beginning part of this video, and it should get you interested in doing research. They're going to take over the market here shortly, in short order, very short order. At least for a time period, until someone else comes along. There's always someone else comes along. Yes, property taxes are bullshit indeed. That I can give you. That's why I like Alabama. 49th lowest property taxes in the world, in America. The 50th lowest property tax, believe it or not, is Hawaii. And they are the 50th lowest because they don't have a property tax. So actually, Alabama has the lowest property tax that you're being taxed, but Hawaii has the lowest property tax because they don't tax. So that would, depending on your verbiage on the application of a tax. If you don't have one, is it considered having one and it being the lowest? No, because you don't have one. Sweet. Yeah, that's what I'm looking to get about $500 a year for about $150,000, $200,000 place, $600 a year, a couple acres. It's Alabama, like I said, it's 49th cheapest, and it's like 0.02% property tax. But yeah, it doesn't matter. It's bullshit. You truly don't own your property if it's paid off and you still have to pay tax on it. They should have something saying as soon as you pay your house off, you don't have to pay property tax, because you 100% own it. Now, I could see where you would still pay property tax if you're paying it off. But once you pay it off, because that would give people incentive to pay off their properties, which would make generational wealth a thing again. Ooh, damn. It's 70 degrees right here. It's kind of, as you can see, got the old looking sweater on. Still have the windows open, but yeah, it's 70 degrees right now with the cool wind coming off of the bay and Napa River. Indeed, Jay, paying taxes on things that you own is an indicator you don't own it. And that's why I say, after you pay the house off, the house note for the loan for the house, property taxes on that property should be cut, because you actually own it. You freaking worked. Now it's 30-year mortgage? Oh my God. I would 30 years for one house? Fuck that. But that's how I'll be able to afford a house on my early retirement. My early retirement after taxes and bullshit would be about $800. And I can afford, $125,000, be about $780 on a loan. So my early retirement will cover about $125,000 house. So I can get about $25,000. I can get about $150,000 house. Houses right now in Alabama are going for half price. If you give me a second, I think I got a picture of a house, and I don't want to say too much about it until I can confirm. I'm pretty sure I got it. It was a 3-story brick house on a half acre, built like 2 years ago. They wanted $650,000 for it a year and a half ago. That is the house. Nice looking house, huh? And that's it right there with the half acre, and it shows what's around you. 3-story brick house, nice everything. Was $650,000. See how much it is now? less than half the price. So there's some good deals to be had. A house like that out here would cost over $1 million. Easy, probably more like a fucking $2 million. And you could pick it up for $300,000. Yeah, Jay, they used to. Alabama, because they don't really do property tax there. They don't have the same incentive because they don't really get much money off of property tax. And that's probably why their houses have fallen over 50% in most areas of Alabama. And it's going to get worse. So that $300,000 house that was $650,000 a year and a half ago will probably be got for $225,000 to $250,000. And then you're paying 0.02% tax on that. And you got yourself a 3-story, 4-bedroom, 5-bath brick house. Well, see, the great thing about Alabama, Jay, at least for me in California, purchasing power. No one talks about purchasing power. It's a big thing in economics. That's probably why they don't talk about it. Purchasing power of $1 out here in California, because of state taxes and regulations, $1 buys you 88 cents in goods and services. In Alabama, that same dollar buys you $1.12 in goods and services. So because I live here in California, where I only get 88 cents of my buying power, when I take my early retirement and move to Alabama, I increase my purchasing power by 24%. That's significant, especially in a retirement scenario. So you got to consider a lot of things when it comes to economics, living, your age, what more you want to do to make money, how you want to make money. You know, there's a lot of things to it. No, $1 gets you 88 cents. It gets you 88 cents. According to federal statistics, it gets you 88 cents worth of purchasing power in California. It feels like 55 cents for sure. Well, yeah, the further away. But see, the great thing about California, as an iron worker especially, I average driving 60 miles to go to a job every day. 60 miles one way, 60 miles the other. So, and Deplorable Hulk says, the further away from civilization, the cheaper everything gets. Indeed. So 50 miles, 40 miles outside of a town, that's nothing for me. My whole career, I've driven more than that. For 30 years, I've driven more than that with no problem. And that's in traffic. There's 11 million people in this area. So for me, for me to move out in the country 50 miles, 40 miles away from a city and have no traffic, I would have no problem with that whatsoever. Zero. Exactly, deplorable. And that's another reason why I like Alabama, because they're the 49th lowest property tax. So if you're looking at corruption in government, the corruption in government on the property tax level that you're just now specifically mentioning, well, Alabama's the lowest at that. They don't cheat, steal, lie when it comes to raising prices of houses for property tax, because they're the 49th lowest. So obviously it's not important to them. But still, they get a little revenue off of it, basically probably just to do the actual infrastructure repair that you're supposed to off of property tax is probably all that Alabama gets. That's why they're 49th lowest, which means that their government's actually probably better. I'm just saying, I mean, if you think about it. No, I would not, Jay, because Atlanta has 9 million people. Why the fuck would I want to move into a municipality? And yes, I could live in Alabama off of Highway 20 in between Birmingham and Atlanta, and it would take about an hour to get to Atlanta. But I don't know that for a fact. That's by mileage. Traffic would probably make it more like 2.5 to 3 hour drive, because 9 million people in Atlanta. Now, if I had to go to Rome, it'd take about 45 minutes. If I lived on the property I'm going to buy in the northeast of Alabama. But I'm moving to southern Alabama because I got to be down there for a couple of years. I think, okay, Deplorable asks, most people sell their houses or refinance their houses every 8 years. How much effect do you think this has on neutral interest rates that Simon's always talking about. I think if the rates go neutral, no one's going to refinance anymore. Because why would you refinance if they're not moving? And it's been 8 years and it's the same. It's kind of a self-answering prophecy or scenario. If you have a neutral interest rate, whatever that neutral interest rate is, if it's not fluctuating, which I would consider a neutral interest rate not to fluctuate, or else it'd be a negative or a positive interest rate. So if it stayed neutral, I would presume, I'm running off the presumption that it would stay stable. So if it's a neutral interest rate for over those 8 years where people are still at refinance, they wouldn't refinance because the rate's the same. The only reason people refinance now is either, well, the lower interest rate, or they have to pull money for some reason or another out of the equity of their house due to life situation or work situation or whatever. But a neutral interest rate would stop the refinancing because the only reason you refinance is pull equity out. And if you're not going to be able to lower your house payment and pull equity out, why refinance? And that was the intent behind refinancing. People do it for other reasons, but the intent was if you had a 5% mortgage on 20, 30 years and you were 15 years into it and it fell to 3%, you would refinance, not for the whole value of your house, but you'd refinance the remaining value at a lower interest rate, and the savings is what you would take for the last 15 years as the equity pullout, and you wouldn't refinance the whole thing, and that would lower your house payment and you get a little equity out of your house. But people got greedy, and when they refinance for the full. Hey! Sorry. Every now and then, some kitty cats that don't like each other walk through the same door. Anyhow, what were we at? Okay, interest rates. Yeah, so if you have what people have been doing is they've been refinance their house at a lower interest rate, but they refinance the full value of the house so they can pull 200 to 300. So in other words, they're rebuying their own house. In other words, now it's another 30 years. So if you had 15 years in, you refinance for full mortgage amount of the house at a lower interest rate, you're paying less per month, but you extended your freaking mortgage for another 30 years. Greed caused people to do that. Stupidity and not family staying together caused parents to do reverse mortgages, die, and have the bank take the house instead of inherit it to the children. Stealing generational wealth is what's known as reverse mortgage. It's also theft of wealth, generational wealth. And you applaud it. Not you, the people, but everyone loves it. So, oh, that's such a great thing. I get money every month, they're paying. Yeah. You sold your children out. Congratulations. But your children sold you out if you're in a situation to have to do that. Flip side of the coin. So, it's where it's just better to stay together as a family. Realize that you're going to hate some of them for some of the time, and you'll get over it. But in the long run, for generational wealth, you need family. Oh no! If I bought that house, Deplorable Hulk, I would rent it out because as soon as that house goes down to $250,000, we're talking about $1,300 a month house payment. How much do you think I could rent that house out for? See the profit margin. A 3-story, 4-bedroom, 5-bath house on a half acre, brick, with a brick fence all the way around the half acre near Huntsville, you get $3,000 a month. But I'd let it go for $2,500 a month and still be making $1,100 a month profit. Well, no, I'd have to take out for house. I'd probably make $800 a month profit. So by buying that house, I'd make I'd make the same as my early retirement if I bought that house. That's going back to the Robert Kiyosaki. See, you got to be adjustable in your strategies on things as well, and not be closed-minded or only stick to one strategy. The debt wealth thing still works. That means go in debt for $250,000 for the house if the house is worth it and you can rent it for more than you're going to pay on it. That's debt to wealth. That's the Robert Kiyosaki way of doing things. Right off the bat, deplorable. I'm not buying a place that I want. That's it. I'm not. I have to do certain things down where I'm going for my businesses that I'm going to start. I have to be down there for two of the businesses that I'm going to start. I have to be in this one area. So I'm just going to buy to be in that area. Where I want to buy land and live is in the northeast of Alabama, where I'll be buying a couple hundred acres. Eventually, a couple years after I move to southern Alabama, I'll move up to, because things will be stable in the businesses that I start, and I'll be able to move away because they'll run without me being there. But when I first started, it's a catamaran business and southern business, and I'm going to be building the catamarans in Mobile, so I have to be in around the Mobile, about an hour and a half away from Mobile. Because now there's no better time in our lifetimes to open up a company making something here in America. The government will give you the money to do it. And if it fails and it goes bankrupt, you don't have to pay it back because it's in the company name. You tried. And it wasn't your money. Debt to wealth. Robert Kiyosaki way of doing things again there. So you got to be able to change strategies where the strategies fit that you can take advantage of. And I actually have someone right now working on a computer design drawing of that catamaran so I can further that along a lot faster than doing it with paperwork. And when I do move down there, I will be probably outside of town, but because there's so many damn towns down there, it probably won't be more than 15, 20 miles outside of any one town. Because like say, we have Bay Minette here, and let's see, hold on, wait, for you guys, it would be Bay Minette here, and Bruton, Alabama here. And then in between them, you have Foley, and then down here, you'd have Mobile. So if I'm in there's like, any road you go down within 15 miles, you're going to hit another town. So you'll always be 15, 20 miles out of a town. That's the great thing about there. Small towns everywhere because people don't like gathering. And, like in San Francisco, we shove 2 million people in a fucking 1 mile square. Who the fuck wants that? Oh, but I want to see the water. Oh, okay. Well, you get to see your neighbor's poop, deal with their fleas, deal with their attitude, deal with their water coming down on your head because they were screwed up, and you got to deal with all these other things just to see the water. Okay. Oh yeah. And you give up having a dog, having a cat, having a life, being able to go out and walk in the park, and Oh no, you can get a park, but you got to pay extra now. It's like, why the fuck do I want to live in a city? I give up so much just to pay extra taxes to get it back. Or I could live in the country and have it all. Right now you got, what is it, Starlink? Shit. You can go anywhere you want. You get Starlink. And to pay for Starlink, you start a company that uses and promotes stuff or does stuff, and you use in the doing of your promotions, you just add Starlink and have them give you a discount rate because you're promoting their product as they're using it. You got to, again, switch strategies, go into a business-minded strategy. Not a Robert Kiyosaki, but actual business model strategy of how to, do the best for your company at that point in time. I'm not going to answer this. That's Zillow Group. They're calling. I called on some land down in Bay Minette area. He didn't have the right information for me first time. I doubt I have it second. Well, it's not okay. Now you're playing with words. You can increase a neutral rate. Well, then it's not a neutral rate. It's a flexible rate. You're using the wrong words. It's like using the word, oh, we're not weaponizing it. We're doing gain of function. It does the same thing. We're just changing words. I mean, if you want to play word games, I can't play that. Get a lawyer and figure it out because they're playing word games on you. That's a flexible mortgage rate, not a neutral flexible mortgage rate. Or excuse me, it's not a neutral rate. It's a neutral flexible mortgage rate. They just threw the word neutral in front of it because it sounds good. And just like, we don't want to tell you we're weaponizing COVID. We're going to do gain of function and then hit you with it. If that's what they call neutral interest rate, I would say fuck them. They're lying to you. It's not a neutral interest rate. It's a neutral flexible interest rate, just like the other flexible interest rates. They're just making neutral in there to make you sound good about getting it, so that you can have a discussion about it. Well, let's have a discussion about the flexible rate because they threw neutral in front of it. How about this? Same argument, put neutral in front of it. Next subject. Now, if it's a neutral interest rate, it's not going up and down. Sorry. I mentioned as a disclaimer, neutral meaning it's not moving. Not moving. Neutral. Neutral. Put your car in neutral. What happens? Unless you're on a hill, you're not moving. If you put your car in reverse, you go backwards. You put it forward, you go forward. Negative interest rates backwards, positive interest rates forward, non-moving interest rates neutral. If it's moving up or down, it's called a flexible interest rate, or a set if it's not moving. Neutral is just a word they're throwing out there to add to the Harris word salad of financing. They're bringing her style of politics into financing now. That's what I say about neutral under that definition. Word salad, baby, word salad. Stay away from it. Play the regular game. Pay your mortgage off. Fuck all that shit. Give up your dreams about getting a new car every 2 years for an adjustable, a neutral adjustable, fixed neutral adjustable rate. That's like oxymoron on top of oxymoron on top of. It's a neutral adjustable fixed rate. How the hell did you get that? I don't know. We got to neutral and flexible, so let's just get to flat. Let's call it a flat rate, then fixed rate too. So that way we talk about this. What are we talking about again? A neutral, flexible rate, but it's not flexible, but it does go up and down. I don't understand. That's why I wouldn't get something I don't understand. I'll tell you that right now. No, I'm talking about neutral is neutral. Forward is forward. Reverse is reverse. If the rate goes up, it's not in neutral. It's not neutral. If the rate goes down, it's not neutral. It's a positive or a negative. Now, if they're throwing new words in there, word salad in there, cool. Stay away from the new word salad because now you're entering that rabbit hole of the Harris Waltz Foundation. And they're bringing it to financing. I would say step into the digital market where they don't play that game and give you better fixed rates, and look at the new banking system that's coming, because that banking system's gone to hell. That's what I say. Good thing we're getting a digital economy thrown at us, because if you have to have a fixed, flat, flexible, neutral interest rate to make yourself feel good that you're getting a fixed, flexible rate that's neutral, okay. It's not neutral if it's going up and down, though. I'm old school. You can throw word salad games at me, but I look at paperwork. So 1 + 2 = 3. And if you say it equals 12, I'm walking away. We're not doing business. And that's how you stop those kind of games. Too many people want to play those games because they want the house. And hey, you got to make the wife happy. So fuck, I got to jump in the house too. No. The effect in thereafter is the same effect. If you're going to get a rate that's flexible just because they call it neutral, you're going to have the same problems as a flexible rate. If it jumps up to 22%, you're going to lose your house. It's not going to change in 8 years, 12 years, 16 years, 42 years. If they throw, in other words, throw the queenly, godly, neutral, flexible interest rate, it doesn't matter the words. If the rate's going up and down and you're refinancing, you're a fool. Didn't we learn that in the 80s and the 2000s and 2010s? Oh, new flexible rate. It's down at 0.002 right now. Buy in on this $5 million house. You'll pay $2 a month. 2 months later. Oh, it's now at 12%. You got to pay $7 million a month. Oh, you can't afford it. Bankruptcy. How many times in history do we have to repeat this stupid shit? Throw a new word in there. It's the same fucking game, baby. Same fucking game. New word, same game. Bankruptcy at the end. Don't play it. Unless you're making double your income every 8 years, don't play that game. So if you're making $10 now and you buy that house, and in 8 years when you refinance, if you're making $20 now, cool. 8 years later, you make a 40. Okay, years later, you're making 80. Okay, 8 years later, you're making 160. Play the game. If that's not how your income is going, don't play that game. That's see, they fucking you right off the bat. I'd build a house. Because then you have no equity. You throw in sweat equity and build it every week when you have extra money, and you keep renting. And after 5 years, your house is finished. And hey, guess what? What's that word neutral mean? Don't matter. It's paid off. Take the hard road. Everyone's think easy. You can build a house yourself in 8 years. Why refinance? Take all that money you're throwing away. You're going to throw away your refinancing. Was it refinancing cost points? Ooh, there you go. Throw the points in there. Throw the 3% for the fucking realtor for doing his work. You know, it's just an economic trick, baby. Watch the Economic Ninja. He'll tell you beat all that shit too. They won't refinance with you because they know they won't be able to fuck you. You'll be like, no, we're not going to do points. And no, you got to take that away. No, that's just extra bullshit. And then they won't want to refinance. Then you won't be able to refinance. So you'll have a fixed rate. That's neutral. Unless you're signed in on an adjustable rate, then it'll be a neutral adjustable rate. Same thing. Just a new word. Just because they throw the word in it doesn't mean you're going to save money. More people need to take. I have never even taken an economics class. I suggest everybody start taking economics classes because they throw stupid shit out. You should never want to refinance your house, dude. If you're buying your house because you want to refinance it in 8 years before you buy it, you're going to lose that house because you get the wrong mindset. That's not what houses are for. You start an LLC, and then you buy a house, call it your house, because you know you're going to refinance it. And that way you have the protection of the bankruptcy that you're going to have when you go down that road of the LLC. That's why you would start an LLC to buy a house. So that way it suffers the consequences of the bankruptcy and you don't. That's what I would say about the neutral, flexible, fixed income rate. Don't buy a house in your name. Buy it in an LLC. Because if they're going to play games back. They want to take your money, start an LLC. They can't take your money. You can take their money then, because you can walk away, go bankrupt, stay there for 6 months, let them fuck up the credit line of that LLC as you're working for those 6 months, saving up cash and buy another one because your credit rating's not fucked with because you bought it in an LLC's name. How's that answer? Is that a better answer for you? And you'll always get the best rate out there because you never went bankrupt. Your LLCs did. Play the game. Play the game. If it's a game, play it. If you're not going to get in and play it, don't play it. I'm going to buy a house under an LLC. I'm not going to buy it under my name. Fuck that. Government would try and take it from me. Don't take it from the LLC. I can screw it up. I can stay there. I can fight it in different legal manners because it's under a business rather than personal loan. You got more legal rights. You stay in the house probably for a year fighting them without paying your mortgage under an LLC. Save up a year's worth of wages and then move. Fuck it, I'm closing the LLC down. Okay. They take the house. You walk away with a year's worth of fucking rent free. You should be good to go. And your credit's not affected because you did it under an LLC. So I would suggest anyone buy a house, buy it under an LLC. You're going to sell it anyhow. Every 8 years, according to statistics, you're either going to sell it, lose it, or fall in a further rabbit hole. And you don't want to do that. You want to send a robot down there. The robot is the LLC. It's your lifeline. Ooh, I don't want to go in that hole. It's dark. Send the LLC down there. Biggest squash. It doesn't affect our credit any. Again, play the game. They want to play all these stupid games? Okay. Play. The only reason you're not a baller is because you don't want to be. That's what I was told. I want to be a baller, so fuck it. Start a couple of LLCs, start buying shit. Okay, I'm still getting fucking credit card offers 4 years after I closed down my Han Solo Ironworkers. They're offering me $75,000 lines of credit. Imagine how much silver I could buy with that if it was going up, or platinum. You know, if I wanted to play the game, I could play the game. I don't want to play the game. Tired of the fucking game. They keep changing names. Same game, change the name. Oh, it's all new. No, it's not the same fucking thing. Same rules apply. They added this quirk to it so they can fuck you twice as hard, half as fast, twice as fast. That's how that works. Anyhow, I've been going long enough. I just wanted to bring the Cummings engine to you. I brought this about a year ago. I brought you one. If you look back in my history on my podcast, it'll have the thumbnail of the Cummings engine where the date they first started working on this. They have gone a hell of a long way in the infrastructure and development of the Cummings natural gas hydrogen engine. And next year, it's going to be all across America and all new trucks. So that stock should take off. This is not financial advice. And with that said, I bid you adieu. Or don't. Doesn't matter.